investigating this advanced knowledge that we all gather about VolleyStation Pro, and we're going to look at the VSCOURT. We're going to also look at very, very advanced queries. So I'm going to recommend that you get a little coffee, get some time, because we're going to get in depth. But that's the fringe now. We're going to the fringe of learning the advance of VolleyStation spreadsheet. So the first thing we're going to look at, sorry, is the VSCOURT. We'll look at the VSCOURT. Right in the first video, I showed you how to create a VSCOURT. So we are going to go into the detail for the VSCOURT. The VSCOURT allows us to do some kind of representation of the court and give us some lines, some heat map, and some information about either the attack, the passing, whatever it is that is being coded with location on the location of the attack. Let's go into the VSCOURT and then we're going to expand on the knowledge there. So the VSCOURT, I'm going to open here. And the VSCOURT is the following. I'm going to create a big court. So I'm going to merge all these ones together. And I'm going to do a VSCOURT. A simple one that you can do is probably the VSCOURT of, I want to do, I'm not going to have a cell. I could have a cell, of course. I could get somebody, actually, you know what? No, I'll do a cell after because it's going to be complex. But I got a VSCOURT of, for instance, all the attack from my team. Actually, I would love to have my player. So that would be probably, I think it was Nick. So 1A, attack 20. Did Nick attack there? And do I get anything? I probably don't have Nick attack there. So I'm going to have somebody, and I'm going to have, I think it's arrows. Do you see the arrow? What did I tell you? Arrows. So something is not happening here. So I'm going to have all the attack on the right side with the arrows. So now I got all the attack on the right side with the arrows. I can right click, see who's done that on the video. And that's not the right team. So I'm going to pick up another season. I'm going to take the Puerto National team. That's what we got. And we're going to have all the attack. Oh, whoa. Okay. I need to probably make it a bit bigger because right now I don't see anything. So I can make it a bit bigger. Or what I need to do is make it way bigger. So the second I'm going to do, it's a 2.0. So I'm going to multiply. That's way better. Right. So I'm want to show the arrows. What we did before was the heat maps, right? Maybe without an S. That's right. So I can have an heat map, but I wanted to have the arrows. So now I see all the attack from zone 2, and I can see the location of what is happening here, right? I could put a player. I mean, if I look at that, you can see on the video who's the player who's got the most, 15 and 3. I want to see that 15. So I'm going to do, well, that's 15 attack. That's what is happening. That's interesting. Okay, so that's a simple one that allows me to see some information, and I can just copy that and maybe create another merge. And I'm going to have here the number 3, right? So I will have the attack on the 15, I will have the attack on the number 3, and now I can show that to my coach, and my coach can say, well, this is how we're going to defend them, okay? Couple other information on this. So you got the scale, right, which is you multiply by the size or not. The arrows are coordinate. Zone arrows are for zone. So that is interesting. Let me spend a couple minutes there. When we code a match, you usually code with the zone, right? So I'm going to go into my match there. On the attack there, when we code, right, you probably are coding this one. It's probably going to be coded something like A05, whatever you want, like CF, sorry, A05 CF. And then because it's CF, you know, when you say, well, it's attacking in zone 7A, right? That's what she attacked. She was like this CF and it's zone 7A, which is this little square there. So if you code that, right, and you want to show the heat map in game, you will have to code with zone arrows here. I'll show you. Zone arrows, I believe there, right? And that will actually show you that. Why it doesn't show that to me now, it's because we've been over the game. Somebody's been over the game, right? And somebody actually clicked the start zone and the end zone. So we have an X and a Y. And because we have an X and a Y, now zone arrows doesn't exist anymore. Even though you see it, it doesn't exist because we have better representation, which is arrows. So me in my game, and I'll do that without a net, but there I have a sheet that my friend TJ actually sent me, which is a zone arrows direction. This is the serve, right? But I got the zone arrows per rotation. And if you see that, I'm actually doing the zone arrows. So when I actually code and while I do live, those arrows will appear. So it won't be as precise, right? It will be from zone 2, for instance, to zone 7A, which is going to be there, but I won't have the exact XY, but at least it's going to tell my coach, this is what is happening. And that's because, and I'm sorry about that, but in game, I don't have time to actually, at the end of the rally, to just click and get the line from X and Y all the time, right? So I'm creating those VSCOURT, right, from zone setter, so from the team, which is probably A, right, Peri-national team or whatever. Do you change that? Is it on the serve there? Yeah, right. So I decide what my team is. It changes, and what I got there is maybe on my first ball side out. I calculate the number of attack. Where are the attack? Serve G1 is because I'm pointing to the serve G1 for A1, right? So is it a star or A? That's the one here. G1. That's the one here. And I create a zone arrows, which is going to show when I just type the zone and not the X and Y. But if you start typing the X and Y, then you will have to use arrows to see the real arrows. Okay. A couple of things. You can have the heat map. We saw that. Right, so I can have here, and we can have heat map. Or you can have a subzone. And I'll give you just an information about the subzone. One of the things, if you want to know about the heat map and everything, is I believe, I'm going to do that, I believe there is an heat map either this one that somebody sent me, or there was a heat map that probably is not there. There is a demo. Is it a demo? VSCOURT. Do I have a VSCOURT? Oh, here it is. So VolleyStation gives you a spreadsheet that is a demo with a core tutorial that give you information about what you can do, right? Can you do the attack and just show certain attack? Can you do the zone arrows that doesn't show, right? A heat map and everything, and some information about, do you want to show the beginning? Do you want to start? Do you want to do the end, right? So here I have just the start, but it's a heat map, so I can see where they start from. And maybe it's interesting, right? Maybe I want to start and the end, or just the end of the heat map. And instead of a heat map, I can do the arrows, right? So if I do arrows, and I just want to do the end, I'll need to figure that out. But that's the that's the what you can actually get from that spreadsheet that shows you the information here. Oh, there's a start and an end and a print for the heat map, right? So I want a heat map. I want to start in the end. Maybe the arrows there is just the end. We'll have to change. But anyway, so that's one of the demo and tutorials that you can get there. What do we have to go there? So that's what the VSCOURT is. The advance of the VSCOURT is what we call the VS format, which allows you to format or render, mostly for the arrows, how you want to present the information. right? So if I copy this one here, and again, I'll have to watch out those double quotes, you know me. I'm going to put it here and here, and that should be okay. So if I get this one, and I put it here, for instance, right? So I'm going to change this one. Oh, I got an error. That's great. I will have to change. See, I told you I will have to actually change that. So let's do the double quote. So this is going to show me all the attack from zone 9 in arrows. The first format that I'm going to add is for the kill, right? I'm going to have an end as a cross. So I want this to be a cross. Then if it's a block or an error, I'm going to have the end style as a diamond. Okay. And then those attack where the setter is in zone 2, 3, 4, so front court, I want the line to be dotted. Okay, great. I got an error there. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to do step by step. So can I see that? Yes, I'm going to probably make it bigger. 2.0. Okay. Actually, we'll do 1.6. I'm really doing that with you guys. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add the first format, and I'm going to add the format one at a time, and we're going to see which one is actually causing the trouble. They were already crossed, probably. That's what it is. The kill was a cross. And when I removed that, did we see that it was different? Yeah, you see it was a round. And now, can I? Now I need to copy that. I just lost it. Well, I'm gonna have to create the format there. So that's the one that I had. And I want all those black dots there to become a cross. Here we go. And now I want the second one, which is I want all the attack that are blocked. I want them to have a different format. We don't see this one, but that's the diamond there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the attack on 20. Right? So you see that all the errors now got a diamond there. And what I wanted to do, that's probably this one there. I want all the attack. Maybe I'll do the star, right? All the attack there. So comma. And what I want to do is probably all their attack when she's in front court. Right, now you got the dotted one. So for some reason this one is working now, right? And I got the dotted. If I remove, let's see the dotted there. There's dotted red and there's dotted green. And if I remove that, now they're full, right? So maybe what I can do is look what that 15 is doing. Right? And I can look maybe on the 90. Does she attack 90? Yes, she does. And it makes sense that all the attack when she's in 90, which is probably the opposite, is actually when the setter is front court, because otherwise she would attack on the 20. Well, that kind of makes sense, right? But I can probably look maybe at the attack on this. And again, makes sense because she's attacking when the other one is back court. That's the other one. So let's see that number 3 maybe. So if I do 3 here, Now I got some attack there, and I can see some information. Anyway, what I wanted to show you is the value of the VS format. There is a whole discussion on the VS format. There is a filter and a format. So the filter, we know that's either all the attack, kill, or the block, or the rotation. So that's what we do, which is all the condition that we want. And then there is a whole format. And the format, you can have the line color, right? So you can change the color to yellow, green, blue, cyan. So let's say, I'm going to do that without a net. Let's say I want to see all my kill. I should be able to do something like this, which is line color. If it doesn't work, I'm in trouble. Line color cyan. Okay, all my kill got now a color so I can see where they are. You can have the color for the end. You can have the style at the end if you want a plus or anything. And you can see if it's dotted, dash line or more. So you can actually go crazy with the VS format and have your VSCOURT rendered the way you want. Okay, that's the way you use VS format with the VSCOURT.